Welcome to this episode of Shift. I'm your host, Palmonia Gordon. Thank you for joining us today. Today we are just looking at the sixth sense. Yes, we have five known senses, or eyes, or ears, or mouth, or nose, and our touch. But then there's a sixth sense by which many people operate, that we get hunches, that we get ideas. When a thought of a person comes to your mind and you pick up the phone and you call that person, or you send that person a text, that's actually your sixth sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your sixth sense that's at work. And I just wanted to share a little bit on that today. For those of us who are not using it, who haven't been paying attention to it, hopefully this will encourage you to pay attention. It's very, very, very important in order to create wealth. And I know many of us are seeking or desire to create wealth. So I want to help you maximize the tools and the avenue that is necessary to help with wealth creation. I'm reading a little bit today from Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. I read some last week on dealing with, sex transmutation. It's still the same chapter, but here I'm going to tell you about the mind stimuli, what stimulates the mind and move you into action, and then how the sixth sense come into play. So it says the human mind responds to stimuli through which it may be keyed up, meaning stimuli excite your mind and it literally opens your brain to function that to a greater capacity. To which it may be keyed up to high rates of vibration known as enthusiasm, creative imagination, intense desire, etc. The stimuli to which the mind responds most freely are, and there's 10 of them. 1, the desire for sex expression. 2, love. 3, a burning desire for fame, power, financial gain, money. 4, music. 5, friendship between either sex, those of the same sex or those of the opposite sex. 6, a mastermind alliance based upon the harmony of 2 or more people who ally themselves for spiritual or temporal advancement. 7, mutual suffering, such as that experienced by people who are persecuted. 8, autosuggestion, something that you say over and over again. Whatever you say to yourself, after a while, your mind takes it as the truth. 9, fear. And 10, narcotics and alcohol. It says the desire for sex comes at the head of the stimuli because it most effectively set up the vibration of the mind and starts the wheel of physical action. So when that desire comes on, it starts your mind into action. Maybe a guy might think, okay, who can I call? Or I don't know, but it sets up that to action. It wants you to do something. It says 8 of these stimuli are natural and constructive. 2 are destructive. We have alcohol, fear, and alcohol and narcotics. Those are destructive. The list is here presented to enable you to make a comparative study of the major sources of mind stimulation. From this study, it will be readily seen that the emotion of sex is by great odds the most intense and powerful of all mind stimuli. The comparison is necessary as a foundation for the proof of the statement that transmutation of sex energy may lift one to the status of a genius. Let us find out what constitutes a genius. A good definition of a genius is a person who has discovered how to increase the vibrations of thought to the point where they can freely communicate with the sources of knowledge not available through the ordinary rate of vibration of thought. So a genius is simple somebody who uses the sixth sense. And we're going to go on to tell you that. When you think the genius, I'm just skipping a little bit right there and I'm coming down. The genius is developed through the sixth sense. It says the reality of the sixth sense, we have established that we do have that hunch, that feeling when you say, I was thinking about somebody and the person called. That's the sixth sense in play. Or we have a habit where you think of somebody and they call and they go, oh, you're not going to live now. You're going to live long, because we are communicating in that sense through our sixth sense. It says a relatively small number of people use the sixth sense with deliberate and purpose aforethought, meaning many people don't give thought to the sixth sense. It just kind of happened. But it's something that if we can pay attention to, just as how we give thanks and we pray without ceasing, we're always praying, our thoughts are always going up and giving out. Are we conscious of what it's doing? So a creative genius literally is somebody who pays keen attention to the sixth sense. It says when ideas or concepts flash into one's mind through what is popularly called a hunch, they come from one or more of the following sources. One, infinite intelligence. It's something that's coming from God. Oh, you wonder how you know that? Divine intelligence. Two, the subconscious mind, in which is stored every sense impression and thought impulse that ever reached the brain through any of the five senses. So anything you sense or experience, whether it was a child or as an adult, it's stored in your subconscious mind, and then something may happen and trigger that thought and it comes out as a hunch. Three, the mind of some other person who has just released the thought or picture of the idea or concept through conscious thought. So when someone thinks of you and then you pick up the phone and you call the person, because that person released that thought of you consciously. Oh my God, I wonder how Audrey's doing. And then Audrey go, oh my God, oh Pam, I haven't spoken to Pam. So right away, you pick that up. And of course, the other person's subconscious storehouse. So we can communicate with other people subconsciously. They can, and no, I'm not talking itchy-bitchy. I'm talking reality and truth. When many people as Christians, what we do when subconsciously God may say to us, or somebody may be reaching out, God help me, send help, and then we pray for that person. Why do you pray? Because subconsciously you are sending out a message to that person to offer them hope, to offer them encouragement, to offer them the peace, whether the assignment came from divine intelligence directly or from that person as a cry for help. How are you going to use that thought and that creative ability to create the wealth that we're seeking? The wealth that we're seeking is here. It's always been here. I said to someone recently, there have been millionaires and billionaires who have died, and not one of them has ever taken any of their money and it got buried with them in the grave, which means it's still all very much here. So everything that you're looking for is here when you're ready and you make the decision to go and get it. Thank you for stopping by this episode of Shift. I encourage you to get a copy of Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich if you have not yet done so, or you can come right here on YouTube and download it. You don't have to download, just go and listen to it. It actually will save it exactly where you stopped. So when you come back the next time to continue, you can keep listening. I love you. Remember to share the information, to comment, to subscribe, but most of all, like the second hand on the clock, keep taking 60 tiny moves that you can come back tomorrow. I love you. God bless you. Have a good day.